Hey guys, Books Nelson here, and we're going to be doing a breakdown of Galaxy Opal Terrence Ross. So let's get right into the content. So I'm going to tell you guys straight up, Terrence Ross has a lot of things going for him, but he does have some major, I don't even want to call them flaws, but they're just particular elements to this card that you have to be aware of. Because if you're not aware of them, if you don't go deep into the card, you could easily come across some of his dribbles and go, oh, this card's not good. It's not that he's not good. It's just that you have to be good the way Terrence Ross wants you to be good. So first I'm going to talk about his jumper a little bit. So his jumper, high release, but it is a bit of a load up, right? So you have to be aware of that because as a shot creator, he's got some good things going for him with his leaners. Now again, mostly we look for leaners to create space, but his leaner is not a space creating leaner. What it really is you want to look at it more like a quick stop, right? So if you're dribbling on the perimeter of Terrence Ross, you can just basically at any point he's going to go straight up. So it's almost like he has a built-in quick stop, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. But you have to be aware that that's what you're using with the card. You're not going to run in a wide circle and then take a leaner and beat the defense that way. You're more getting into pockets. You hit a screen, people sag off, people are trying to pinch and play passing lanes, and you can punish them with a really quick attack with his pull-up jumper. I do think in that use case it can be pretty good. And same thing for his hop step. It's just a quick stop hop step, right? Like he's going to the basket, he stops, he goes right up. You beat the defense before they get there. Very quick, efficient attack with that. And this is Hall of Fame difficulty, so you can see, even while I'm talking to you guys, it's a very easy release. Very, very easy release. And again, when I say it's not the fastest, it's not that the release is bad. It's just that it's just literally it's not the fastest. That's all it is. It's not slow. You know, it doesn't carry him forward too much or anything like that. You can use it at will, but you have to recognize what's strong about it. What's strong about it, it's got a high release, straight up and down. He can get it off in basically any situation. But is he going to, behind the back into that and get it off very quickly? No. It's a little bit too slow for that kind of attack in the game. You can, if you use the left stick cancel and you really juke somebody, you can get it off, but you have to create a little more space with Terrence Ross if you want to get that going. All right, let's get to his dribbles. So his dribble style, you got Chris Paul's dribble style. This is not one of the best ones. It's like a diet version of Devin Booker, and he has no real secondary push cross, like no behind the back or anything like that. So how do we work with that? Well, normally what we would do is we would do a normal size up, but he's got this Carmelo Anthony size up, which is just, in my opinion, a little too slow to make work. He just sticks the ball out first. Now, you guys know I like when a card can show the ball, but he just takes too long to do it for it to be deceptive. It kind of gives the person an opportunity to react, but all is not lost. He does have KD escape, right? So with that KD escape, you can see you can actually move, right? And so that's really the theme of Terrence Ross, is as a dribbler, he moves a lot, right? And this is something you can definitely use with the card. And we're going to go right to one of his hidden gems right off the bat. So if you just tap up on the right stick, this is what Terrence Ross does. Look at that dribble. This is so good. So as he's doing all of these moves, out of any of these, you can break out and change directions, right? So say you just break out early, right to the behind the back, right? Break out a little later, you can get to, another behind the back off of that. So he's got a lot of, shiftiness he can do off of that. Let's look at it compared with his snatchback, right? So we tap right on up on the stick, snatchback, up on the stick, snatchback, right? And you let it play out at different times, and you can quickly see how Terrence Ross can start to establish a rhythm moving around with the way he dribbles. And he's got a lot of things going for him when it comes to that. So this behind the back, it says pro. I don't know which one this is exactly, but the main thing is because of the James Harden hezi that he has, he can, not only can he hezi cancel the same direction, right? He can same side boost in a really clean, efficient way. But off of these behind the backs, he can continue in the same direction, and he can go back the other way, right? So you can behind the back, and keep going the same way. So this card can really dance left and right in a way that a lot of cards cannot. But you just have to be used to what's good about this card and lean into that rather than get too caught up in what he can't do. Because if you stick to what he can do, he is a usable card. Now, is he a top 2 guard in the game? Absolutely not. He's not competing with, the Ron Artest and the Kobe's and then even like a Nick Young or Ricky Davis, I imagine. He's not in that category. He's in, I would say, at the bottom of that next tier. So like, your Jaylen Brown type area. I think he's kind of in that area of Jaylen Brown. I probably rate Jaylen Brown a little better than this card. I do like the Jaylen Brown a lot, though. I think Jaylen Brown's pretty slept on. But I think he comes in next in that category. So if you're looking to fill the two guard position, here are the moves you want to lean on just to review. So you have this normal, size up, the normal dribble combo, right? That's just up on the right stick, pressing nothing else. And you want to get used to that move and start to really learn how to play with it. His next strongest move is this snatchback, right? The John Wall snatchback, the John Wall hop back. And I will say that combined with the Chris Paul dribble style, it's okay. You just have to push up forward on the stick to get out of it with that push cross, and you're good to go, right? So he can snap out of that with the push cross. So, and obviously he can snatch out of that as well, right? So you can hop back, snatch back, behind the back, escape, go the same way. He has access to all of that stuff. And then the same thing with the KD escape. He's got these kind of side-to-side dribbles that he can, really dance, move left and right. And you see he has a lot of ways that he can dance once you get the card going, But you just have to work with the card to get it to be usable in that way. I do think he can be a very effective dribbler. I think he can even be a secondary ball handler, believe it or not. But I think you have to play into what he does well. So you have to mix in. He has a good misdirection. So you have to mix in his misdirections, right? You want to mix in the L2 cancel. He can L2 cancel with his KD escape. So you definitely want to, if you have this card, that'll be a big boost to this card. Being able to L2 cancel, it's going to create a lot more space for him and get him going the other way. The nice thing about this card is when he does get going the other way, he can get going the other way into that straight up and down shot. So the moment you have an opponent fooled, you can pull up. You don't need to run and create extra space. If an opponent's behind the screen or they bid on a fake, you can go straight up with this card and get the job done. Layup package, Steph Curry. Okay, the Steph Curry layup package is not super strong. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. One thing it does have is a solid scoop. And you need that solid scoop because when you stick dunk with Terrence Ross on the strong hand side, he almost always puts the ball out really far, right? When you're stick dunking. When he stick dunks, he likes to play with the basketball, and you have to be aware of that when you're going up. You see that? The ball comes out a lot, and he's not even doing the sidearm tomahawks. He pressed right on the stick, he doesn't want to do it right now, but it's random because he has a lot of dunk packages. So when you're going up with this card, definitely be aware. He likes 360s, he likes these tomahawks. It doesn't make him a bad dunker, not by any stretch. He's a very athletic card. But you have to be aware that if you're on your strong side, he might troll you a little bit. So if somebody's on your strong side and you want to avoid that contact, you want to score, then you have that Steph Curry scooper to bail you out. You definitely want to add that skill gap. Floaters, I wouldn't recommend because Steph Curry's floaters, you might get a good one like that, but very often you'll get one of these that drags you all the way to the paint. You see where I landed? If somebody's got Wilt or any of these tall centers that are really athletic, that thing is getting pitched out of there. So you don't want to mess around with the floaters. With this guy, it's stick dunks and scoopers, in my opinions. The Euro steps are nothing to talk about either. But you get a steady diet of that. You use this card, you use that move to kind of boogie. You lean on this behind the back. You lean on your misdirections. You lean on your hop back. You lean on your snatch back. And you do those things, and this card has more than enough to really, get going, right? He's got a beautiful same side burst. He can change directions. What's he missing? He could use a better dribble style. The Carmelo Anthony size up that he has here is not ideal. So you want to lean on more of his turbo dribbles and his signature dribbles to get going with the card. That's the main thing. Other than that, I would say, yeah, he's kind of a mid-tier 2-guard. Definitely usable. Definitely can put in a lot of work for you if you don't have one of the upper tiers that you're looking for. I put him in the lower end of wherever Jaylen Brown kind of lands. His jumper is just fast and high enough and very easy to get off that I think he will do the job across the board. And that's pretty much where Terrence Ross lands. So if you take nothing else from this video, basically lean on this snatchback, lean on this behind the back, lean on the James Harden hesitation, which will give you the ability to burst out of that behind the back, the ability to same side burst very effectively, just like that. And of course, above everything else, the one thing he has that most cards don't have, this beautiful dribble right here. I can't stress this enough. Get used to mixing that in with a lot of different things, right? You want to be able to mix that in with the behind the back. You want to be able to mix that in with the, the snatch back, mix that in with your momentum dribbles. But the thing is, the ball is moving side to side as he does it, right? So you got to get used to the timing of that and when you do the moves based on where the ball is, right? So if you're going to throw in your momentum, if you're going to throw in a misdirection, you're going to throw in a behind the back, you got to get that stuff down. And this is definitely a card that you're going to get much more mileage out of if you know how to L2 cancel. Because he has a good escape. L2 canceling is a very powerful tool. So you definitely want to get used to it if you have this Terrence Ross card, because if you don't, he's significantly less effective. He doesn't have a ton of strong tools. So I think you want to be comfortable with every single one of the tools that he does have. All right, that's our breakdown for Terrence Ross. He's decent, maybe slightly better than I thought, not as good as I hoped, but a usable card. Doesn't make my lineup, but if you do get stuck with using this card, all is not lost, because he can knock down some shots. He'll get up on that rim, and he can dance with the ball a bit behind screens and get into his unique stuff. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, as always, for the incredible support you've shown. I'll see y'all in the comment section and in the next one. Peace.